Good morning, Virgo, and Happy New Year. Thank goodness it's 2021. Hopefully, we'll have some nice things happen this year. I want to go on holiday, so that would be nice. Um, let's see what we have. Nothing really through intuitively. I think I got a few things overnight, but I'm trying to dial back on the intuitive stuff just because I don't know what's for who. Um, but for your songs, as I was setting up the reading, you got Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. So that was an interesting one to start with. So maybe somebody's really admiring dead ass. I don't know. Um, Obviously, there's a racial connotation here to this song. I'm definitely a Becky because I have no butt. It's sad times. But I think something to do, maybe to do with like that song did quite a lot for maybe getting people to think about different women's bodies in different ways and appreciate different aspects. Like if the fashion industry at the time was promoting very, very skinny models, I'm not quite sure about exactly when that song came out, but I remember things like, what was it called? It was like heroin chic with Kate Moss and people like that was in fashion when I was a teenager. So I remember like there was anorexia and bulimia issues in my school. I had a bit of a dose of it, and I had a very good friend who had it very, very bad problems with that. So yeah, I think that song, I admire it a huge amount because it has lines like "shake that healthy butt." It's not healthy to be like on a fad diet, like eating one piece of lettuce a day and then vomiting it up. That's not healthy. It's not what people shouldn't promote unhealthy bodies, unrealistic bodies. Because the interesting thing about that song as well is he says, I don't want the silicone. I want them real thick and juicy, and healthy. So he's really promoting a healthy body type, which, hands down, like praise Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think as well, like we've got this thing now, like where I was growing up as a teenager, we had people like Kate Moss, who I love Kate Moss, to be honest. I think she's stunning, but there was something unhealthy about them promoting very, very thin models. But now if you look at people like Kim Kardashian or Tana Mojo, and again, absolutely love Tana Mojo. I just think she's brilliant. But if you look at Instagram now and the people who do very well on these platforms, they often do have little nips and tucks or collagen injections here and there. The images are all photoshopped, all the skin's smoothed out. I'm not adverse to an odd filter here and there, a little bit of texture smoothing. I'm trying actually to. Oh, hello, crow. I don't know if you heard that. It flew right past the window. I'm This is something I'm kind of dealing with myself as somebody who's recently discovered selfie taking this year because I had a lot of time on my hands. Image manipulation. Because I didn't have very much confidence about my own image, going into 2020, I was using the filters and the editing tools quite a lot, especially because I've had acne, so I don't feel like I have the best skin texture. And what I've been trying to do over the course of the year, so I don't know if I'm telling you this because it may have some relevance to you. It may be that you've got children who are looking at Instagram too much, or it asked me to talk about songs for a reason. So talking about my own personal experience, hopefully there's something relatable in there that applies to you. So as the course of the year went on, I've gradually kind of been forcing myself to tone back on things like the filters and the skin smoothing. I still use them slightly, but I have posted unedited pictures now of myself on Twitter. Obviously when I'm having a good day and I've got makeup on, but to me that is like a huge boost in my confidence, a huge not a boost to my confidence, but a huge like sort of like brave thing that I've been doing in regards to my confidence, and it is actually boosting my confidence because I think perhaps sometimes, especially with things like anorexia and bulimia, people can have a very distorted image, like a distorted view of their own image, and it comes from looking at all these edited pictures online because they're not realistic unless you can afford to have the surgery and spend hours editing your pictures. It's not realistic. I actually watched a video, an interview with Tana Mojo this week. She was on a podcast called Call Me Daddy, and it's a long podcast, so unless you're really into Tana Mojo or I don't know those kind of discussions, I don't know if you want to go and watch that or not. But it was at one point she was kind of talking about how she was doing this as well. She was really into editing her Instagram photos to the point where she would be so incredibly distorted, it would be nothing like what she looked like in real life. And she said she was taking a photo on a beach and she distorted herself that much that her friend's arm was bent. So she was also... It's kind of her job to present this perfect image. She promotes advertising products, so there is a need for her to present in a certain way. But for her own health, that is something that she's kind of been dealing with. And she said it got to the point where it stopped being like editing the pictures to look good, and then her mindset switched at some point to being, okay, how do I look like these pictures? Which is when she started to get the fillers and the nose surgery and all these kinds of things. So I really admire that, by the way. I'm not calling her out for that. I really admire her being very frank and honest about the things that she's dealing with. But again, so Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back, is promoting that healthy, real body image. And I think, if you are a guy watching this, that is definitely something for you to think about as well. Because I find that a lot of the time, men don't even realise when images have been edited. I know The Beast, he buys men's health magazines quite a lot, and I'll sit there looking at the front cover and thinking that's so I can see where the editing is done. I can see where that is obviously not a natural picture. It's distorted. But so it's not just a girl thing, it's men as well. Like these people who present these distorted images of like the perfect person, but the perfect person isn't a machine image. A real person is real, thick and juicy. So there's something in there for somebody, whether somebody's seen, maybe you've got confidence issues, but somebody's looking at you and thinking, oh my god, yes, you are perfect, like the shape of you is just perfect. I think that's a film, maybe that's relevant somehow. Or you're looking at somebody else like this. So take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Maybe you just want a bit of back, I don't know. The next song that came through for you was Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this song. As a song, it's fun, When I dive into it a little bit more deeply, I have a lot of issues with it because I think I really actually strongly dislike Look What You Made Me Do. Nobody ever makes you do anything. Like, everybody has their own personal autonomy and choice, and yes, sometimes those choices are difficult. Yes, sometimes you're corralled into a certain thing, but I think the mature response to anything is taking ownership of your own choices, your own actions, and saying, okay, well, why did I do that? What role did I play in that scenario? But look what you made me do. It's very childish. It's very immature. It's very narcissistic as well. So I don't know if somebody is actually dealing with a narcissist, somebody who never takes the blame, somebody who just can't stand criticism. It's always everybody else's fault. Possibly. How you laugh when you lie, something there to that. I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. It could just be that you're being a bit rude with those two songs. I don't trust nobody, nobody trusts me. So it's not a healthy way to be. It's not a healthy way to live your life. I don't trust anybody and nobody trusts me. It's like paranoia. You're not making good connections if you don't trust anyone all the time, and especially in healthy relationships, there has to be a level of trust. So my throat's closing up right now. I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. So you could be dealing with somebody who's perhaps only interested in your body. Again, I was talking about narcissism a while back, and it was like, what do they compliment? They do give you compliments, very, very critical as well, but the things that they compliment are the things that benefit them. So it could be somebody saying, you've got such a nice butt, but because they want to get with you. So could be something in there for somebody. Right, we need to randomise you a song on camera. Let's see what you get. So this was the song that came through yesterday for Aquarius. I did actually like that song. You see, I listened to the whole thing. I'm on randomization. We've got Enemies New Year's Eve playlist. 2020 party playlist. So I've had a brief look. Some of the songs I know, some of the songs I don't. So let's see what comes up for you. So Virgo, 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 Virgo. Okay, I don't know that song. Rue, Girl in Red. Maybe you've met a girl and she was dressed in red. Maybe I don't know. Does that has that any relevance to you? Girl in Red and Rue. So Rue gives me like Rue the day. I Rue the day we met, perhaps. Girl in Red. So I'm going to listen to that off camera as I dial into the energies. It's like this sort of showed me ET phone home, like ding, ringing, like I don't know, dialing into the connection, and I think my guides are making fun of me, and yeah, I'll be back with you in a minute, and we'll pull some cards. Right, okay, so Rue, Girl in Red. Believe me when I say I tried to leave it all behind to get it off my mind. I don't want to make it worse. I hate the way my brain is wired. Can't trust myself. I'm such a liar. So you could be dealing with somebody like this. Seems like they're beating themselves up about it a little bit. But you've got two things about lying there. Can't trust myself. I'm such a liar. And how you laugh when you lie. So it could be... This could be any relationship in your life. It doesn't have to be a love interest. It could be, family member, friends, co-workers, something along those lines. So take it as it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't, and we'll see what you get. Now, I'm wearing the same top as yesterday. I'm a bit scruffy, but it's cold, so I'm just hibernating. Shush, leave me alone. Let's see what we get. Virgo. Sorry, I got distracted then, but you've got the Maiden and the Vessel there. I don't know if I should take them or not because my mind wandered. No, the same, take it. Right, okay, so I have to find them again now. Where did they go? Take it, yeah. The vision and the underline there, which is interesting because one of the songs that was playing when I got up this morning was "We Want the Same Thing, We Dream the Same Dream" by I think Belinda Carlisle. So a shared vision with somebody. Again, could be work, shared a colleague, shared vision. I'm noticing the owls there. Could be some kind of intuitive link with you and somebody else. Very much on the same page there with somebody. Over here, though, the Maiden and the Vessel. What is immediately springing to mind because of the songs and the things we've been talking about is somebody being treated like an object, somebody being taken advantage of, somebody being used for their body, but there not being much else in there. So could be somebody's trying to get pregnant, perhaps, the Maiden and the Vessel as well. The Vessel is the container, so it's any kind of container. It can be the body, it can be a cup, it can be, speaking of which, hello, it can be a body, it can be a cup, it can be, I don't know, the atmosphere of the world holding everything in. So any kind of vessel. There is a hollowness to this card, though. And with the Maiden is a card about young, naive, vulnerable female sexuality. This feels very much like could be somebody being slightly taken advantage of in a physical sense. It could be that somebody's very attractive, but there's not much in there. Like, there's not much depth to this person. That's a Mix-a-Lot song. Yeah, it actually sounds really complimentary, right? But what is he complimenting? He's complimenting a body. He's not like, oh, she's got a really smart brain and she's so funny. She makes me go insane. Like, I want to spend my time with her. Like, reading books and going to the movies. Like, he's not complimenting, like, I love how she laughs when she watches cartoons. He's not complimenting a personality, he's complimenting a body, right? So this is what it is. We've got it. Somebody who's literally just interested in somebody's body and not actually interested in what's inside is how that's coming through quite strongly. It doesn't have to be that. Take anything that resonates, leave anything that doesn't. I don't imagine, Virgo, I hope this isn't you treating people like this, because that's not good. That's been quite bad karma, isn't it? Again, what I was talking about, did I pick on with that Taylor Parks song? Sorry, Taylor Swift. This is what happens when you really like two singers with the same first name. You just who we got here? I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. So it's like the maiden's wising up. How you laugh when you lie. Yeah, so it could be dealing with someone who's narcissistic, because again, like, it's somebody who can't. Why does this keep coming up? It keeps coming up, but for different signs. So if you're with somebody and all they compliment is the things that benefit them, oh, you're so brilliant at tidying. How do you tidy so fast? Like, you're so sexy. They want your body. They want you to tidy up for them. Like, I love how generous you are. I love how you give me money all the time. They just want your money. So what are they actually complimenting? And then also look at, what are they criticizing? Because if in the same breath, say like they've been complimenting how good you look, but then you get dressed up to go out with your friends on like a girly night, or, take it as it resonates. It doesn't have to be a female, right? It's just kind of like somebody who's young and slightly naive, especially in terms of sexuality. It's, if you're getting dressed up to go out and they're suddenly like, oh, do you know, that dress doesn't really, it's a bit slutty, isn't it? Or, that I don't know if that fits you very well, it's a bit tight, and they put you off, where maybe they complimented that dress 3 nights before when you were wearing it for them. That is them criticizing you because it suits them to criticize you, because they want to undermine your confidence. And this is what happens in these kind of relationships. People will undermine your confidence, and especially if it breaks ties with other people. So watch out for this, because this is like, we're going into abusive relationship territory, possibly. And I don't like to talk about these things. And if this isn't your story, then absolutely fine. We'll pull more cards and we'll get into something a bit more in a minute. But perhaps somebody really needs to hear this, so I do need to say it if it's coming through. It could definitely be somebody who's only interested in your body and not your mind. And if they're trying to break ties with friends and family, if they're breaking down your confidence, then that is abusive. It's controlling behaviour in a relationship. So just be aware of that. Right, okay, we're just going to read the cards though and see what the cards have to say, because I feel like that's a side message maybe for a small group of people, where the main message may be something very different. So let's see. The Virgin, the Princess, the Innocent. The maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She's compelling and addictive because of her flawless and youthful glow. She's the first archetype in the trifecta of Maiden, Mother, Crone, and rightfully so, because she has so much to learn. Excuse me. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way, and subject her to a challenge that leads her to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, and yet she hesitates at the threshold, enamoured by the charms of youth. The maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of the poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy, and it includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. And when light, curious, enchanting, sensual, full of vitality. When dark, pretends, projects, denies, and fantasizes. Go deeper, Persephone, Alice, or any princess figures. Hi, friendly neighborhood Cinderella here. Do you long to be rescued by another, or receive a kiss that brings you back to life? Be wary of waiting for a prince. Break the spell of your own life. Moving from the maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tensions between the two archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. Okay. So yeah, so somebody perhaps has to grow up in terms of some kind of, in some way. They're playing I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. I don't like you. So I think somebody could have wised up in a relationship. They just said wisdomous. And somebody could have wised up in a relationship kind of in the nick of time, right? Before they got truly stuck. It's like maybe, for example, maybe somebody's in this kind of relationship, and perhaps they were thinking about having a baby with this person, but perhaps 2020, because of lockdown, because we're all stuck, reassessing relationships, things of 2020 has been really challenging for a lot of people, and it has caused this period of reassessment. So it could be that actually maybe you've been stuck indoors with this person and you've seen that they have got narcissistic or controlling or just said diabolical tendencies, and it's like you've got that wisdom in the nick of time. Like perhaps you were considering having a child with this person, with the vessel as well here, which can symbolize the womb, and it's like you've realized, like, I don't actually want to be stuck with this person. The baby would tie me to this person, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, that's what's coming through. Again, if that's not your story, don't worry too much. Just leave it for whoever it is, and take this as it resonates. It could be somebody that you're dealing with, if you've got a daughter perhaps, or a friend who's very naive. And obviously if you're in a relationship with somebody like this, don't take advantage of them, because that's, for one, that's awful karma, and it's quite cruel. The vessel, the body, the container, the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within this circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, lol, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction? It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honoured. Is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. So obviously look after your body, look after your health. There could be, again, something here to do with body image, dieting, what is and isn't a healthy body. You may want to reassess your thoughts on that. When light is stable, strong and graceful. When dark, trapped, being in a bubble. Go deeper, The Loving Cup by the Rolling Stones. The mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. So it may be the place that you're in, your workplace, your home, something like this. Maybe you are ill because of something in your house. So, for example, like I'm seeing this as maybe like black mold, it affects your health. Could be something there for somebody. The physical body is the most sacred vessel of all. It's the one in which you reside from your first breath to your last. It may need your attention, yeah. So it could definitely be something to do with your physical body. So if you are female, pay attention, especially with the Maiden card here, to anything to do with female organs, female body parts. May need just a little bit of a look at, a little bit of a checkup, not to scare anyone or say that there's anything wrong, but if the message comes through, I kind of need to say it could be for somebody. Right, okay. Just giving my body what it wants there with my coffee. Right, we're gonna go. What lessons were you supposed to learn in 2020? What do you need to release as we move forward in 2021? What opportunities come forward as you've done stages 1 and stage 2? What opportunities will come up for you, and what challenges are you going to face? Now, challenges can be good or bad, so we'll see what that says. But what lesson was Virgo supposed to learn in 2020, please? What lesson was Virgo supposed to learn in 2020? Oh, somebody else got this. Four of Swords, so it's like hibernating. Again, it's the nest, right? So something again is coming through with the body, so the physical body, and the container, the nest, so the home. You could have definitely been self-isolating, perhaps not. You may have had actual health issues. Again, could be something to do with pregnancy here, or like female recovery in some way. Doesn't have to be. It is coming through as very female though. Could be that somebody, if you don't identify. I mean, take it as it resonates. It could be if you identify as a he or they, then this is just possibly the feminine side of yourself. We all have yin and yang energy within us. So it's the side that needs to be nurtured, the side that needs to be loved, the side that's a little bit less action-based and more responsive. So yeah, you may have been learning some lessons around house and home, about nurturing, about health, about resting, healing, possibly healing from a broken heart. I almost see this as like the Three of Swords as well. So yeah, rest, recovery, healing, home is what's coming through with that, and I will pull clarifiers to get some more from that, but some lesson regarding that. So what does Virgo need to release, please, as we move into 2021? What does Virgo need to release? The Queen of Wands. Interesting. So I got a couple of things immediately. The first one that came through very powerfully was, if you identify as this maiden, this perhaps slightly repressed, slightly overprotected female energy, then the release is you coming out of that into a Queen of Wands energy, which is a very mature sexual energy, very mature feminine sexual energy. It's somebody who is confident. It's somebody who is going to go out into the world and get exactly what they want. They know what they want. They yeah, there's no messing around with the Queen of Wands. She's a very, very strong, passionate, creative character. So it could definitely be that you've, like I was saying at the start of the reading, where I've been working on my confidence issues while I've been while I've been in lockdown. You know, I didn't have much to do, especially when we first went into lockdown. So I was kind of like getting dressed up for no reason, and I've never known how to pose for photos in the past. I'd always be the person trying to hide behind somebody else, especially because I had really bad acne a few years back, and it really, really did knock my confidence. So in lockdown, I've kind of been like putting my makeup on, like working out my angles. I think I read something that was like Kim Kardashian takes like 100 photos every time. For every photo she releases, she takes like 100, and then she picks the best one, and then she like does all the manipulating of the image. So I was like embracing this idea rather than rejecting it and being like, I don't want to be like that. I was like, do you know what, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it in terms of like almost like a brand, right? You create your own brand online. So the public image you have is kind of like your brand, even on a minor level, right? So yeah, I was embracing that kind of aspect of like seeing my image in more of a business sense, which like it's a bit silly really, but it was all just part of me reassessing my identity and my own personal issues with my own image. So I feel now at the end of 2020 so much more confident, especially in terms of like in terms of images of myself. And yeah, some of them I still look awful on. Some of them I look like I don't know, like the Swamp Thing, or I don't know, what year is this? You know, sometimes I look like I've just woken up and I'm a bit of a tramp. But like sometimes I will take a picture and do minimal editing and think I actually look really nice in that picture, and I'm proud of myself, and like it is such a boost of confidence. So you again, like I'm telling these personal stories for a reason, because this could definitely be what you've kind of been doing this year, and you're going to release this new confident, ambitious, driven, mature version of yourself. It's like, I'm not, wait, what are they giving me? They're giving me, I'm not Josie Grossi anymore, which is from Never Been Kissed. It's Drew Barrymore. Um, but it's like that's what you thought of yourself, perhaps, in this kind of more immature state where now it's like, I'm a woman and I'm confident, hear me roar. For others of you, you may have to release an actual person. So the Queen of Wands could be a person for you. So as I described her, confident, ambitious, knows exactly who she is, expressive, gorgeous. You may actually have to, if you've got some kind of hold over her, if you've got some kind of chains on her, you may have to release her. So if perhaps I was talking about, there could be somebody in a relationship who's quite controlling, and sometimes this comes from a very genuine place, especially if you're dealing with a Scorpio. It comes from a place of this person trying to protect you, trying to shield you from the world, because they know that people will try and take advantage of that naivety. They know that people are out there who are cruel and unkind and manipulative, so they try to protect this person from the world. But they're giving me Lily by Alan Walker, but in doing so, that actually, now they're giving me Overprotected by Britney Spears, they actually stop this person from learning and growing. They suppress this person's growth and development as a soul, as a human being. They stop them progressing into that like mother crone age, which is natural progression for a woman. Again, doesn't he, she, they. You can swap the gender roles around if you need to. It's more about the energy of the person. So perhaps this is you, Virgo, recognizing where you've been overprotective of somebody. Again, perhaps you've got a daughter and you've been trying to protect her, but perhaps you've been a little bit too overbearing with that. And children do have to kind of learn life lessons, so you can give them advice, you can give them rules, but ultimately they have to go out and make their own decisions in life. So could be something like that for you there. I'm just going to make a note of those two songs. I'll be back with you in a moment. Right, okay, so we're going to go with what opportunities are available to you, Virgo, as we go into 2021. What opportunities are available to you? Oh, I should just say, this doesn't mean like if you're in a relationship with this person, you don't have to split up with them. But you just need to, perhaps, I was talking about in another reading this week, scaffolding, about how you support somebody. It's a term that teachers use in schools. And it's about when somebody needs support, you build up the scaffolding. So say that you've got a child who is struggling with a task, they don't know where to start. You may say, is there anything around that can help you? And it gives them a chance to kind of think about it on their own. And if they're still struggling, you may say, well, what did you do last time? What worked last time? So you're building up the scaffolding. If they're still stuck, you'll say, shall we try doing this? And then you'll actually give them the answer ultimately. But you don't go in to a child and just go, right, this is how you do it. Try this, because they're not developing those processing skills. So once the child's done it, you can then, like, the next time you come to it, you can do that. Well, what helped last time? And eventually the idea is you get them to figure things out by themselves, and you can eventually kind of remove that scaffolding and they can do it on their own. So it may just be that you need to take some of that scaffolding down, and give them a little bit, like almost like you shouldn't ever have a person on a lead, but they're giving me the image of a lead, like letting the lead out, giving them a bit of a longer leash. So they, and then the vessel as well is like, and the nest here is like providing that safe place for them to come back to. So say they go out and they fail, like allow them to come back and be like, okay, what went wrong? What are you going to do differently next time? And when they come back, don't be like, well, I told you so, because that just hurts the person more. So could be something there for somebody. Four of Cups here is what opportunity you have. So the opportunity here is to release. The meaning of this card is this person's sulking because they've got these three relationships that didn't work out. They've kind of had like a bad time with relationships. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be like friends, family, colleagues. But there's a sense of being really disappointed in past relationships. It didn't work out. This person's kind of had enough, and they're kind of crossing their arms and protecting themselves. And they're like, I'm not even interested in having another relationship. I'm not interested in anything, in engaging in these things anymore. I've lost interest. Also interesting with the cups and this body coming out of a cup here. So there's a sense of kind of like being a bit defensive, not being interested in friends, family, people who perhaps are trying to invite you out. You're not into it. The opportunity that you may miss here is that there's this divine cup coming in for you. So you can see it's kind of almost, it's coming in with this hand, being offered with this hand, and it's got these gorgeous rainbow colours coming out of it. So this is the Ace of Cups. The aces in tarot are like things that the universe is bringing in for you as kind of like a divine reward, a divine gift. So there's something that's a really, really, there's an opportunity with some kind of relationship here with somebody, probably somebody new. But this person's not seeing it. So make sure you don't miss the opportunity, because this is going to be really, really good for you if you go for it. So do, again, if you are the maiden and you have a sense of disappointment, perhaps you feel very used in relationships, you feel like people have only wanted one thing for you, or people keep breaking your heart, which is why you've got this Four of Swords over here, or Three of Swords I see it as. And she's kind of looking back at the past as well. So make sure you don't miss out on this very loving, beautiful relationship because you're so busy looking at the past hurt. And just to kind of show you there, she's actually got her hand on that bowl. So it's like it's just coming into her awareness. She's reaching for it. She does want it. Something there for you. Okay, so what challenges may Virgo face in 2021? What challenges may Virgo face in 2021? You've got the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So the Nine of Swords is mentally agonizing over something. It could be that you've got a lot of mental conflict, a lot of voices in your head, a lot of opinions of people around you. You could be suffering from an actual mental illness. It's kind of like anxiety or depression or stress. It's all this kind of like difficult mental health issues that can come up for people. So do reach out and get support if you do find yourself suffering in that way. A huge amount of mental anxiety. It's exhaustive as well. You can see she's got a pillow next to her. It's like wanting to kind of bury yourself under the covers and not being able to get up and do things, being very like very drained, not able to kind of like face day-to-day tasks because you've got so much going on mentally. You are a bit of a thinker, Virgo. You do tend to be quite self-critical as well. Talking about being critical over here, criticism is a kind of key feature of Virgo energy. Now, again, depending on the placements of your chart, you may be like, well, I'm not that critical. But it's something that is linked with Virgo energy. So just be aware that you not only of kind of criticizing people around you and perhaps knocking the confidence of other people. And Virgos do this from a very, very, I don't know what it is with Virgo people, like Virgo people. I tend to be naturally drawn. I tend to get on very well with Virgos. In fact, I've kind of, when I was a teenager, I lived with 3 Virgos. So I'm very familiar with Virgo energy, but they can criticize, and it's very well meaning. It's like this is a way that Virgo shows love. It's like, I love you, I want you to be the best version of yourself, therefore I'm going to criticize you so you know what to fix. So it comes from a place of love. But what can sometimes happen, Virgo, so just to be aware of this, if this is something that you do, is it actually really does knock the confidence and it injures the other person. So as I was saying, this kind of like maiden to Queen of Wands, it could be that somebody's getting over so if this isn't you, if this is somebody you're connected with, it may be that you've been quite critical and they found the confidence. And so do just kind of be aware of that. And I know that you don't mean to do it. I know that it comes from a place of love. But you have to kind of realize how damaging that can be to somebody's confidence, as well-meaning and as well-intentioned as it is. However, I feel like this could be you turning that criticism inwards to yourself. And again, this is another thing I find Virgos have a tendency to do. You can be a bit of a perfectionist and a bit of an idealist when it comes to human behavior and nature, the way people should act. And when you don't live up to your own very, very high standards, you can become very critical of yourself. So do be aware of a tendency to do that. it just keeps you trapped and doesn't allow you, it kind of gets you stuck in a loop, I find. It means that you don't get progression. You're so busy beating yourself up that you don't actually take steps to resolve or improve the situation. So just be aware of that cycle that you tend to fall into. The Knight of Wands, my throat's really closing up now. Somebody may be struggling to speak. The Knight of Wands. So the thing that you have a lot of anxiety over is something to do with, now this could be you or somebody else. The Knight of Wands is somebody who's very, very passionate. It's probably this Queen of Wands energy. Somebody who's passionate. You can see she's really having fun there, really going out, having my video cut out, having a bit of a party, being very expressive as well. You can see she's beating a drum. She's really, like, she's got that self-expression going, having a brilliant time. So again, if this is somebody you connected with, perhaps a partner or a daughter or something, and again, it's she, he, they, so you can swap the genders around if you need to, but you've got this fiery energy you're connected with, possibly a fire sign, and they're going out and having fun and having a brilliant time, but you could be having a lot of anxiety over this, thinking, are they safe? Is anyone taking advantage of them? Yeah, definitely. But it's like this person needs to have that space to be expressive. They need to have the good time. They need to learn the lessons. They need to, you can see how happy she is. She's so happy. But yeah, I feel like this is your energy, Virgo, having a huge amount of anxiety over this. It could also be, if this is you and you're the one finding this more mature energy of being more expressive, having a good time, going out, getting what you want, you could also have this sense of anxiety over it, where it's like, I want this. It's like, I want this. I want to feel this. Look at all like that energy as well, like flying up from her. That's like she's beating that drum and she's having a brilliant time, and then the energy that she's releasing into the world is amazing. It could be somebody's literally making music, but it could come with this sense of anxiety where it's like, I really want to do this, but my fears, my doubts, my self-confidence issues, my own criticism of myself, all the things that could go wrong, it's kind of like putting a bit of a dampener on it, or it's holding you back. It may actually stop you from doing this brilliant thing, whatever this is for you. So just be aware of that tendency. And perhaps, because this is kind of like a heads up, perhaps prepare now. Make a note for yourself, put it up on the wall, get a bit of a mantra for yourself to repeat every morning. Come up with something to remind you not to get stuck in this energy when it comes up for you. You can prepare ahead now. Maybe write down bullet points of things that you can do when you start to feel this energy coming in for yourself. Give yourself a pep talk in the mirror. Go and do something practical. You are an earth sign, so doing things that are practical actually gives you a little bit of a serotonin boost. So if you make yourself a little jobs list of like jobs I need to do, and you do them, you get that little serotonin boost, and it'll help pull you out of that energy. You also, when you get those little ticks next to your jobs list, when you can cross things off, it's that little like, oh yeah, and you can actually see, then you can be like, oh, I'm doing really well. Perhaps you could exercise. I know Virgos tend to really like exercise. They kind of like the action hero of the tarot for me. All my Virgo friends tend to like exercise. My best friend in high school was a Virgo. She was like, she loved sports, and I hated sports. So it's funny, isn't it, that kind of chalk and cheese. But you may want to physically exercise to kind of, I don't know, give yourself that serotonin boost and get yourself out of your own thoughts. So do something practical. You've got the Lover's card there on the underlying. This could be a fear. You could be scared. If you're connected with this person, you could be scared that they might get another love interest, or something like that. What's underneath? The Ace of Pentacles. Could be something to do with work there as well. Right, okay, so the Four of Swords. Why is the Four of Swords here as the lesson Virgo needed to learn? The Knight of Cups. Yeah, definitely something to do with healing, processing, having a bit of downtime. These two, let me just show you these two cards. They're very, very similar. the Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords. In terms of like, it's both to do with like thoughts, being a bit kind of like needing time to process your own thoughts. The difference is though, this is quite a positive energy. It's talking about having a bit of a timeout, resting, healing, processing. Nine of Swords is when your thoughts overwhelm you and it spills into more serious problems like anxiety and depression, stress. So this kind of need to kind of rest and restore is in because of some kind of love offer or relationship offer. It's somebody coming forward with a cup saying, hey, I'm interested in you in some way. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be friendship, but it has caused this kind of like period of processing for you. So there's some lesson to learn in that for you in 2020. As we leave 2020, that was the lesson you were supposed to learn. Perhaps it could be how to, I mean, you've got the Ten of Cups on the underlying here. So I feel like it's very similar to this. It's like this is the same energy coming up over here for you, but in a more challenging way. So this could be like the baby step. And this is like, did you learn your lesson? Are you ready for this bigger step? And it is in regards to your own happiness. So like this was the trial and this is the test. This is the... what they called, this is the SAT and this is the GCSE. That's schooling things in the UK. So yeah, this is kind of like the practice run, because this is something really good. This is like, it's connected to happiness. So it's like something really good coming in here. It's like somebody coming in to offer you, it's like this person coming in to offer you this cup. So perhaps the challenge for you is learning how to accept really good opportunities and not get stuck in your own head about it. So think it through. Yes, the rainbow here again symbolizes healing. So it's like, think things through. Don't fear that broken heart. You can see that these things are not actually piercing her. So she may be scared of getting a broken heart, but the heart is fine. It's in the nest. It's safe. And she's not actually being hurt by any of those spikes. So you've got a fear. You've got a fear of things not working out. You've got a fear of getting hurt. And this is what you're being taught to learn here, especially if you are doing this kind of leveling up from this kind of immature to more mature energy. Can you tell me, please, about the Queen of Wands? Here's the Four of Cups. Look. Okay, so what do you need to release? You need to possibly release your defenses. You need to possibly let your guard down. The Four of Cups, as I said up here, it's like, look how stubborn she is. She's like, no, I'm not accepting any of those offers. I'm not even looking on my phone. I don't want to talk to my friends. I just want to be on my own. I'm already over it. It's very Virgo energy. You are the Hermit card of the tarot, Virgo. So this is totally your energy. This kind of like, no, I'm taking a time out. I'm going off on my own. I need to process my thoughts on this matter. So that you're being asked to release this kind of quite stubborn, I'm not interested, I don't want to take any of these offers. Release it. It may actually be that you're releasing it in order to have somebody who's very passionate come into you. You are being offered this divine cup, Virgo. There's something really good here being offered to you, but the challenge is to stop worrying about it, to stop overthinking it, to stop thinking everything's going to go wrong before anything's gone badly wrong, and to embrace these opportunities that are coming in. So tell me more about this opportunity. What is this Ace of Cups coming in, please? Temperance in reverse. So you're asked to, can I get a clarifier, please, on Temperance in, oh, hang on. That's you could definitely be dealing with a fire sign. This is Sagittarius energy. It's the only major arcana you've got so far, but you've got all this wand energy here as well. I'm starting to get a bit of a headache over my left eye, so I don't know if that's relevant to anybody. Clarify why Temperance is in the reverse, please. Success. Yeah, you definitely have a tendency to be too balanced. You're almost like the Knight of Pentacles in the tarot, where it's like slow and steady wins the race, and this works for you, which is why you have a tendency to do it. So the Temperance in the upright is like being very, very patient, being very balanced, really balancing out emotions and passions, sort of tempering your own passions with your kind of logic and you can see she's got one foot on the earth. So it's like, I'm going to be really grounded here. I'm not jumping in with both feet. I'm just going to kind of test the waters. but it's in reverse. So you have an opportunity where you may be asked to kind of jump in with both feet, to stop tempering yourself. And it's linked to success. The Six of Wands is success, a battle won, reward and recognition, being recognized for your hard work. It's they're giving me great success, which is like Borat. But it's like, yeah, people cheering you on, having some kind of success. But I do think it requires you to go against your nature a little bit here, because this is very much your nature, this kind of like processing, being very, very careful, very steady, not wanting to take any big risks. I mean, it's not the Fool card, so it's not telling you to be spontaneous or to do something without preparing for it. It's not telling you to do that. It's saying, Virgo, yes, you can prepare for it, you can do this in a very steady way, but don't take too long to do it. Like, if you get a job offer, don't and ah about it too long, because the opportunity will pass you by. Your success comes when you come out of that balance, that temperance. Okay, so tell me about the challenge. The Nine of Swords with the Knight of Wands. The Nine of Swords with the Knight of Wands. Okay. Six of Pentacles. Two of Cups in the World. Wow, okay. Yeah, you definitely, if you've learnt your lessons, you have a huge opportunity coming up here. You've got the World card. Now this is like they're giving me a whole new world, don't you dare close your eyes, a whole fantastic point of view. So yeah, you have the opportunity to learn a huge life lesson here and go forward in something brand new. It could be that you're literally moving. You could be moving at a considerable distance with the World card. It could be that you are doing something on the internet, the World Wide Web, but this is like a whole new life cycle, like a brand new kind of phase of your life that you have an opportunity for here. And it comes with the Two of Cups. Now the Two of Cups is an equal partnership, equal fair and share, equal give and take. It could be because you're an earth sign, you can see one of these people is stood on the earth and one of the people are stood in the water. So it could be that you are connecting with a water sign. Again, can be a romantic interest, but it doesn't have to be. You may actually be crossing water, or somebody may be crossing water to come to you. It could be because I'm seeing this as you with being the earth sign stood on the earth. It could be that you have a connection with somebody across water, a female energy possibly, and it could be that you invite this person to come to you, that this is the person crossing the water. You can see the similarity of these two ladies on these cards. So yeah, you could actually be having someone coming over to you and having a really, really good time with them, but it could come with this sense of like, I don't know if you just heard the crows start cawing then as I picked up that card, a sense of fear. Now the Six of Pentacles in reverse, this tells me that there isn't equal fair and share in something on a tangible level. You may have been putting too much work into a situation, you may be giving too much in a situation and not getting enough in return. Again, could be work, could be house, lots of different things. It is quite Libran energy. This I would say Sagittarian energy, and it doesn't have to be any of these signs, but I know some people like to hear them. It can be anyone. Everybody acts in different ways some of the time. So you can see here that it's the Six of Pentacles, and this person's giving gifts out, but this person is receiving more. Their gift is bigger, it's heavier, and they've got three pentacles over their head. Now this person here, she actually looks a little bit more needy, a little bit more desperate. Her clothes aren't quite as fancy as this girl over here, but she's looking up and she's like, well, what about me? This person's turning, giving all the rewards to this person. This person's like, well, hello, I'm here too. And she's only got a little small present there, and she's only got two pentacles with it. So there's some kind of imbalance here. There's an unfairness in a situation, and it's a material unfairness. So this could be what's causing you the anxiety, thinking, I really want this, I really, really want this, but perhaps Virgo, perhaps you're thinking, I'm offering a lot more here in terms of money and tangible things. So you could have some anxiety over like, is this really fair? I mean, it could be that there's a love interest coming in for you. This doesn't always have to mean a third party situation. This actually means a very, very passionate, I don't know why I shouted that and said it in such a weird way, a very, very passionate romantic connection. It's like the Two of Cups is an equal connection, equal, like seeing eye to eye, equal give and take, emotional equals. And it's very passionate, a very, very strong connection here with the Two of Cups. But it could be that one of you has a lot more to offer in a tangible sense than the other. One person could be coming through as being actually a little bit needy in terms of money. Perhaps they don't have a very good job. The other person could have quite an established career. It's probably you, with you being the earth sign. You've probably quite good at earning money, you know, maybe have quite a lot of material things. So you may be entering into a relationship here. Again, could be love, could be something else. Maybe you just say to a friend, yeah, come and live with me, come and stay with me. You can set up, you know, see if there's any jobs over here. But you do have some anxiety here because you, I think, are bringing more to the table in terms of tangible things. However, it is showing as a very, very equal, very passionate, very exciting, fun connection for you. So I think the challenge is overcoming this anxiety over it, the fear, the reluctance, perhaps the blocking this, because it's showing as a divine opportunity. It's a really good connection, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this person, and your emotional equals, even if you're not equals in a financial sense. Everything else looks really good, and this person can always like get a job, you know. You can always sort that out as you go, and perhaps this person is, especially with them being, look, Knight of Pentacles there, this is you, steady Eddie, like the tortoise that won the race. As I'm about to start talking about you being quite practical, so you like, again, depending on the other placements in your chart, Virgo, you do tend to be very, very stable, very dependable, very practical. You build up that wealth slowly but surely. Perhaps that's why you're so reluctant, because you've built it up slowly but surely. You're a bit scared of anything that might threaten that. You are quite protective over things that you have worked hard for, which, you know, quite understandably, quite rightly. This person being a water sign, they could be more emotional. So they might be the sort of person who will quit a job because they don't get on with the people they work with. They might be like, I can't stand to be here any longer. It's too upsetting for me. So they may not prioritize practical things in the same way that you do. Understand that that's part of their nature. It does come through that this person is somebody that you could absolutely love and have a brilliant time with. So don't kind of overly criticize them for not having the same attitude towards tangible things and practical matters as you do. Offer them support. Don't be like, oh, you did that wrong, why didn't you keep that job? Try to not use the critical voice, and try to offer support in a more practical, tangible sense. Be like, oh, I saw this brilliant job in the newspaper the other day, it looks perfect for you, I think you could really enjoy it, do you want to give it a try? I'll help you with the application form. So try and use a positive voice, and support this person. They'll appreciate, with them being a water sign, they'll appreciate that a huge amount more than if you use a critical voice with them. So a little bit of advice there, Virgo. What do we have for you in terms of a spirit guide? So what spirit guide do we have for Virgo as we go into 2021? Who is coming along to help Virgo in 2021? Spirit animal, please, for Virgo in 2021. There you go. We've got somebody. In the underline, you've got turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. There you go. So, you know, if you think about kind of the story of Turkey Day, I've forgotten what it's called, sorry America, Thanksgiving, you know, it is about being generous. It is about opening your home to people who perhaps are a little bit more needy in some way, but it is about being warm and generous and open. So very strong advice from Spirit there for somebody. Right, I'm just going to check which way this wants to go. It's unclear. Can you tell me which way, please? Thank you. Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. I feel like this hawk's come through quite a few times recently. 32. I'm going to stop and restart because I'm just getting to the end of how much time I have from this video. So normally if I stop and restart, it gives me a few more minutes. So 1 minute. There we go. I've got just over 3 minutes to read this advice for you. So watch out for hawks. If you see hawks while you're out and about, or you know, symbolism of hawks, if you see them on the news, if you read about them in the paper, any way that the hawk might come to you, see, just excuse me a minute. I'm sorry about that. My little boy just woke up. He wanted a cuddle. Yeah, do watch out for hawks. If you see them anywhere, if you hear the word, it could be a sign from spirit to kind of get your attention and point you in a certain direction. So, or just pay attention to your thoughts if they come up. So 32, let spirit be your guide. Oracle message. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When hawk spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for the synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, you have been hearing the same word or song, or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places. Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you might begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with this symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When hawk spirit appears, it's a sign to listen. So there you go. Like I was saying, watch out for the synchronicities. Watch out for meaningful coincidences. If you keep seeing the same number pattern, so like 2222222, it could be spirit trying to point you towards this divine connection. If you keep hearing a certain song, perhaps a certain song with somebody's name in it, it could again be trying to point you in the direction of a certain person. So could definitely be something there for you. I'm not going to say the name. It was a female name. Last Christmas, this name kept coming up for me, and I was like, I don't know this person very well. Why are they trying to draw my attention to this person? And it actually turned out that there were a lot of opportunities for me regarding this person, which I didn't know were coming in. Again, a friend there for me. So it's interesting how that works. So do pay attention, and yeah. I hope that was helpful to you. Leave me a like if you like, subscribe, leave a comment if anything has particularly resonated. If you think this is something to do with one of your friends, like one of your friends' story, do share it, even if they're not Virgo. It may be that they've got strong Virgo placement in the sign. It really helps me out. And if you want to come in as a stealth watcher, that is totally fine with me as well. Do take care, Virgo, and have a brilliant 2021. Maybe 2020 is something that you keep seeing. And yeah, go out and enjoy yourself and have a good time, and don't worry about it. Let's just cover that up. Bye, Virgo. Take care.